Maya?
Um, no, not really. Honestly.
Alright, then we will go on to talking about block punishing. We talked a little bit about this before, but we'll go into more detail
Yeah.
on block punishing now.
Yeah. First thing that I would like to say though about this peculiar type of punishment, this punishment I think is one of the most important ones because whip punishing is one thing, it's probably like the first thing you're gonna learn spacing out and doing whip punishment, but block punishment actually can like save your life in sets. For example, like if your opponent is unfamiliar with how you punish and what you can punish, then like for example it might throw something 14. And if you know it's going to kill them and you know you're going to do that on reaction, it can save you a round and give you a chance to adapt it.
But this game is hard. That's why we're doing these tutorials. That way we can get some good information out to people that is often overlooked to provide to new players.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't quit. Fun.
It is. It just takes a while to get done. This is one of the most important aspects, in my opinion.
Alright, so yeah, I know you're joking. But yeah, so anyway, block punishing. So block punishing is where you block a move and retaliate with your own guaranteed attack. Before, so we showed you a bit of that, of what that looked like before. So how do you go practicing block punishing? This is one of the uses of many uses of practice. I'm going to have to kill your controller for this.
Yeah, that's no problem.
So when you're in practice mode, if you go to CPU, and point at this, you guys can. If you go to CPU action, you can tell it to repeat an action. And then you can choose up to 5 actions to have it do. For this, we'll just pick one right now. You can go to the move list and get all their moves, at least most of it. So let's pick a searchable move. So now that we've got the CPU set to do a move, we can tell it to play the move by hitting. Wait, I can't do this on the people. This 4-stick doesn't. Here. Let's see. I'm gonna steal Jeremiah's pad. Right. So you hit the touchpad here. Hit the touchpad and circle, and they'll start playing the move over and over again. So you can set the interval between actions here, so you can have it go fast or slow. For this, normal is should be fine. But now you can practice punishing it. So this one, I did a 12-frame punish there. I don't know how punishing.
It's 12.
13, 14. Doesn't look like 14 punishing. Right. So yeah. So you can see the move and practice how it feels to punish. You're going to need to know what your character's punishes are in order to do this.
Yeah.
I should have looked up where to find the character's punishment.
Cool.
Because, well, one place to look is Tekken Zaibatsu. You can often find some information on here in the forums. The Tekken 7 forums and characters. So, in here, oftentimes you can find some information about the characters' punishers in the character specific form. but I'm trying to, yeah, I'm drawing a blank on where our better will look right. So I'll have to go with that for now. But so you can use this playback feature to practice getting your punishes, and you can find out how punishable a move is. Like you find out that's minus 13 and not 12, like it goes off. Yeah, you can get a feel for the timing it takes to get the punish to pop up. So you can practice that a few times, then you can go on to the next move.
And you can learn a lot. It does take some time, but you can definitely learn a lot. Like you'll find all these types of various things. You're like, oh wow, that's launch punishable, and you'll be amazed. But it does take a lot of time to get down.
So you can just go down the list. There's high. But it doesn't look like I can finish it by blocking. I can raid with it. Yeah, I can't punish it. Do moves have different properties when they punish? Do they do more damage or act differently when punished? No, they do not. They act just like a normal hit, non-counter hit. It seems like the longer the combo. When you say combo, I'm assuming you're referring to string. The less punishable it is. It's entirely dependent on the string.
Yeah.
There are some strings that are heavily punishable and some strings that are safe.
Yeah, like it depends on like if you're seeing highs and string.
We'll talk about highs and strings later.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yeah. So it's one of those things where it's completely dependent on the string whether or not it gets more punishable the farther it goes. Yeah. So as you are figuring out your what you do. This is just this. But that's there. Anyway, go down the move list, taking one at a time, and have them use it. And you can see how punishable things are. Start off with trying to jab. Can't jab, I don't get to punish here, so I'm going to save. So another thing you might also notice I've got on here is set up the characters turn blue when they can't act. Yeah, so didn't get the memo apparently. But yeah, so that can also be helpful in seeing advantage and disadvantage, because if you take a look, you can see Nina gets unmoved faster than Yoshimitsu. You can change that setting under pause, under display settings. You got the recovery animation, have it display or not display. I usually have it display on my practice mode just because I like to see it, but you might not. Up to you. Yeah, so yeah, so also, if you want to, you can use the frame data tools like Harvey Norway or Tekken Chicken or the Tekken bot to see how punishable these moves are. Instead of just going through each one. That one looks like it's forcing you to crouch and punish pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, one thing I would also like to point out though, about going on Tekken Chicken or going on a site and have something punishable, unless you like play the character, I think it's pretty hard to gauge like what exactly is seeing the animation.
Now that's why you take a look at the move in here and then go to the app and look it up.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Also, if you don't know how to read Tekken notation, just say something and I'll give a brief rundown of it. Yeah, so that way you can, so instead of going through each and every move to find out if it is punishable, you can the frame data apps to complement your research. Yeah, so practice that they're going to do logic punish it, like we were just doing it. Then what I would recommend doing after you've gone through their move list, like some moves are trickier to punish than others. Like what's a oops. There's
CD1 should be like right by the grab actually.
So this one.
Oh, you went two? Okay, watch this.
Yeah, this one, like every the punish window is pretty early for it. It looks like you recover a lot later. It looks like you recover a lot later than you actually do. So this would be a good one to sit and practice actually punishing it. You can actually get just 14 frame punish with that. 150. But you know, you find a few of these moves that are kind of hard to punish. And then you can go down and have up to 5 of them and just have them do it.
I think it was flash. That's mine's 50. Recovers really quick.
Thanks. Have an odd one. So if you have 2 different moves, you will alternate. So he'll choose randomly which one to do. So he won't do the same one every time. Hey, Hasty Steve, how's it going? Glad you can join us. So you see how he's going, he's picking one of the 2. So you can practice getting the right punish on these. And just kind of, yeah, so you can set up the 5 moves. That, see, I missed the button. Need to practice this. But this way you can get the muscle memory built up to these punishes.
And over time, like it's gonna like I was going to say it's gonna take a while for you to get consistent punishment. So don't get discouraged. It does take a while. And the other thing I was going to add is you don't want when you feel like you're starting to punish something, you need to consistently keep doing it because you want it to be reactive instead of collective. Because if you've only punished for let's just say a couple days, and you yourself you're punishing something and you don't punish it consistent, that's a selective punishment. But if you have reactive and you're punishing it all the time and you have it nailed, it does take a while, like I said, to get this down. But when you get it down, it's one of the least things.
All right, so one of the my favorite sayings on training your muscle memory like this is that the command can't take a pit stop in your brain from your eyes to your hands. So it has to go from your eyes to your hands. It doesn't stop up here. It just goes.
Yeah.
And that's what you're building up doing practice mode, especially when you're having it do multiple different moves. But yeah, so you can also have a throw in save move too, so that way you're not always punishing something. The flaw asks, how many hours a day should I be practicing a week?
That really depends. Like personally, I think that really depends on how much time you have to do so. Like I mean, everybody learns at their own pace, and everybody has what they have to do in life. So like, it all just really depends. The least amount of time that I try and tell people is at least donate an hour to practice mode a day, so you're at least building something up. I mean, everybody I think can at least do that. But I mean, like, if you're talking if you have the time, like you could donate up to 4 or 5 hours a day if you wanted to. That's completely up to you. But for the least, and for people who have work and they have stuff to do in their life, I'd say an hour and a half a day. As much time as you really can. As long as you're building on it and you're improving on it, that's the important thing, right? That's the key.
Well, I would like to offer a counterpoint to that. Is that you're playing Tekken because it's fun. If you don't find sitting in practice mode for an hour every day, 7 days a week fun, that will kind of push you away from the game.
That's true.
So I would practice however much you feel comfortable practicing. And I think usually at some point, if you decide to get, you decide you want to get better, then the practicing will start to become more rewarding, if not directly fun.
Yeah, it might not be, and like, don't get me wrong, it's not like directly fun, but after a while, after you do it for a consistent amount of time, like say a week, you start realizing that maybe even hours go by and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, if you watch Harris's stream Avoiding the Puddle Anytime, he often talks about the combo vortex, where you just lose track of time trying to get a difficult combo down.
Yeah.
And that's something that can happen in practice mode. Yeah, so it's up to you to how much, like, the more time you put into practicing these skills, the faster you will improve. But also, if you're not having fun doing it, then you can try practicing other ways.
Yeah, you can't, because everybody does learn different. But like you was saying though, like the more you put in, the more you're going to either improve, and the more you're going to learn these permanently from reaction. But the less time you put in, the longer it's going to be. And also, I'd like to say is like not everything is fun. So I mean, sometimes not everything is fun when you're getting better. So for example, practicing punishing stuff will not always the funnest thing, but at the very end, like you were saying, it's very rewarding.
Alright, so Flaw asked what the best option to do when a block a move that's punishable but can't punish it because of heck of pushback. I'm glad you asked that question because I forgot to put that in the notes. So if a move has a lot of pushback and you don't have a move that reaches it, then you can't punish it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Punch it. You go for alternate options like that aren't punishes most, but eventually happens. It all depends on what you decide to do.
But if something is negative like that, you could use that chance to apply pressure by moving forward. You don't necessarily have to press a button because by the time you move forward, they've recovered and they might be able to retaliate. But it really depends on your read of your opponent. If you think he's just going to let you move forward and attack, you can do that. If you think he's going to try to bait you in and hit you while you're coming in, you can go dash forward and block. You can sidestep. Death Fist hits mid. Death Fist is a very mid attack. So you can do other things instead of blocking the Death Fist. You try to make it whiff or sidestep it. Or you can also try counter hitting it before it comes out. Those are all options that go with moves that have a lot of pushback. But long and short of it is if the move has enough pushback so that none of your moves reach, then you can't punish it. But what I would do is I would also take that move into practice mode and try various things. Because specifically with Paul's Death Fist, the pushback on it changes depending on how close you are to him when you block it. The closer you are, the less pushback it has, and so you might be able to punish it if you were really close and block. Hi, Mr. Henry. I'm not going to give out a whole lot of character specific stuff in tutorials right now. I'm trying to keep things general for now. Well, you could come over, but I might be asleep by the time you get down here. It'd be like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So after you start feeling comfortable punishing moves, you don't have to necessarily go through the entire cast right away. You probably go through the entire cast at some point, just to familiarize yourself with everything. But another thing I would do is I would either go to the treasure battle or set the opponent in practice mode. You can set the opponent in practice mode by going to CPU action and then hitting CPU. And then the CPU will start attacking and doing stuff. And you can see all sorts of crazy stuff that it does. But it will do punishable stuff. And you can just like hold back and let it do something punishable. Try and punish it. Nice thing about doing this in practice mode and treasure battle is that there's no real pressure to win. So you can concentrate instead of concentrate on the punishing instead of the winning. And this usually not doing a whole lot of punishing. Yeah, so it will often do a lot of really punishable stuff. Except for when I'm trying to demonstrate that they do a lot of really punishable stuff. Yeah, but if you're doing this in practice mode, I would just backdash and let them come and try to punish them when they do something punishable. So that way you can get some more real match experience in your punishes, rather than just in practice mode, because in practice mode you know they're coming. In match you don't necessarily know they're coming. So that's just there to help get the muscle memory. Let's see. Paul says, "Good job at Evo and proud of your performance." Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was happy with it. Wish I could have beat Nobi though. That would have made my day. So, do you have any other ways that you practice punishment?
Well, I mean, from what I see is what I used to do is I used to do the treasure battle thing, except for the build battle. And what I do is after I punish stuff for a variety amount of time, and I start to see on punishing this stuff when I know what's coming, of course. Now I try and put myself in a match situation. Am I doing this on a reaction, or am I late, or do I know about it? Going through all those various types of things. But I found in Tekken 7 Treasure Battle, when you first start playing it. But that's what I did though. So I think that the computer demonstration in practice mode is actually a lot better than Treasure Battle, especially if you're starting out and playing up there. To do those training exercises. But yeah, that's personally what I did though. I punished stuff for a variety amount of time, and after that I'd be like, okay, let's put this in matches. And I'll be like, okay, I know that's my stand, and now it's in my head.
When you're saying a match experience, are you talking about against another person?
No, in match experience by I mean like someone who's just doing stuff, or just like an opponent. I should have said that. I guess I worded that wrong. So what I mean is just by an opponent where you don't exactly know what they're gonna do. For example, they might throw something punchable out, and you've been practicing against that, but they did it in a situation that you weren't expecting. So like you're not expecting what's gonna happen against, say, computer here. or whatever else. So you practice against it with both muscles.
Right. So, alright, so if I was using that mentality, should I practice to punish one move 1,000 times? Not necessarily. I mean,
All
it might
depends.
take 1,000 times to get it down. It might not. I will say that that would be pretty monotonous. I don't think I could practice punishing one move 1,000 times. We'll be saying afterwards. Yeah, so last thing I would like to point out as soon as this plane leaves, give us a minute. So the last thing I would like to point out is that oftentimes when you're fighting in a match, a lot of the practice that you put in to getting your muscle memory for your punishes down will seem to just kind of vanish. You don't know where it went. That is pretty typical. Don't let that discourage you. Just keep on practicing, building up the muscle memory, trying to focus on getting punishes in matches. Because you need to train your brain to not make that pit stop in your head and just send the information right from your eyeballs to your head to your hand. So, yeah. I think we're about ready to move on to the next topic. I believe is whiff punishing. Gonna let this hang in the air for a minute.